Gentles and ladymen, it finally happened. You say, Dylan, where have you been? I've been on tour. How long, you ask? How long? I left home on the 16th of May, and I returned on the 2nd of July. It was one of the most incredible and most fulfilling experiences of my life. And if I met you on the road, if you came to one of those events, I owe you nothing but the biggest ever thank you. Hyperbole is warranted with how much fun I had on the road. And, you know, it was amazing just to see the nation during the summer. Oh, it's perfect. Coast to coast, baby. But I got back on the 2nd of July. And on the 3rd of July, I had a little scratch on my throat. I said, well, you know, I was asking for it. I shook a lot of people's hands. I was going around, but it was interesting to me because it had been ages since I had had an event, really. My last event was the ALA conference in Philadelphia, the American Librarians Association conference. I had a signing and I was invited there. Had the most fun, gave a little talk on the ALA What's Cooking stage, met a lot of fantastic librarians, and it was a good time. So I was like, this is interesting. I've got a scratch on my throat. And then the 4th of July hit. Oh no. About 3 a.m. on the 4th of July, which is, you know, it's still the dead of night before the morning of July 4th. I woke up and I was sweating. And I said, oh dear. I've been out running this thing since 2020. And it's finally come for the dues owed of it. It's come to collect from the boy who made a name for himself during the titular pandemic. So I knew I needed to get one of those test cassettes. And I did the swab. And by then I have a throbbing headache. I had to do one of those swabs, you know, back in the day. It's taken me back. Mix, squeeze, dropper, 4 drops. Boy, did that test line come up solid red. To summarize, I got COVID. God, it hurts. I got COVID in July of 2025. I couldn't go to my July 4th barbecue. I couldn't see family who were in town. It was just miserable. And you know, let me tell you this. Pair with fever dreams and explosions in the sky with fireworks. I had the most whack dreams. Let me tell you, the night of July 4th, in the throngs of COVID, that was the closest I will ever come to serving. I had visions of Normandy and, you know, Battle of the Bulge. I thought I was at war in my bed, and I woke up significantly more moistened than I woke up the night prior. Whoever says that these days this thing is just like a common cold, no. Now, perhaps for those who have had this before, but this, my first time, hit me like a brick. Pang! Whoa! I still can't think straight, and it's been a few days. I held a fever. I can't think right. You know how I'm going to describe this? You ever seen a video where the sound is just a little bit off from the picture? It's out of sync. Now, you're right. Maybe I'm being hyperbolic. It's not that bad. But neither is a few milliseconds delay between sound and picture. But when that's off, you know how discombobulating it can be. It's almost unwatchable, even though the delta between what's right and wrong is fairly narrow. That's how I am feeling with Rona. Miss Rona has slowed down my thoughts and my processing so much so that I feel like I've regressed about 20 years in maturity. It's coming back. It's coming back. 20 years of knowledge down the drain. I couldn't answer simple questions on the 4th. On the 5th. I just couldn't. Anyway, you say, Dylan, did that ruin the experience on the road, all of the summer, all of your events? No. Why? Because think about it. It's a bit poetic. It's like come full circle, you know what I mean? It's like that old talking, my hair's a mess, I'm so sorry. I once heard Las Vegas, Nevada depicted similarly, and I wrote this in the headnote in my second book, where it's like, long have prospectors stolen silver and gold and other ores from the hills of Nevada, stolen the wealth from the hills of Nevada. And only now, through the millions and billions and trillions dumped into Las Vegas's casinos, have they begun to pay her back. And that's how I feel about being stricken, afflicted with Miss Rona on July 4th after such a spangled and storied adventure. All that to say, that's current events, gentles and ladies. And you say, Dylan, what else is going on? I found a fitted cover for Ernest's bench seat. You know, I just had a tarp over there. Well, it was a drop cloth. Drop cloths are great. They're so cheap. You can use them for anything. Make curtains out of them, for heaven's sake. That's a hack. But, you know, for a cover, you needed it to be fitted. And here in my trunk, all wadded up underneath the parcel shelf back there, was this cover. Fits perfectly. So I put that on because I'm sweating profusely. It's the middle of the summer. It's rather hot. Rona, I'm back. Thank you so much for such an incredible tour. That is the current events. Also, do not worry. Through my public events, I did not, inflict this upon anyone else. It was no sort of spreading event thing. Because ALA had finished for several days. And if you recall, the beginning of July, there was a lot of cancellations on the East Coast flight-wise. And Philadelphia, Pennsylvania wouldn't let go of me. It wouldn't let me leave. That is to say, I was stuck, canceled multiple times to the airport and back. Whoops, let's try it again tomorrow. So I caught it, likely not at one of my events or the ALA, but on the plane and in the airports. Such is the case, c'est la vie. It just always happens. There's something gross about them. And the thing with Miss Rona is no matter how hygienic you are, if you're not, using this, you're done for, because it is so contagious by air. So you can be the cleanest germaphobe on earth, but if you're sat next to someone with it, even if they're not coughing, anyway, I'm feeling better now, despite the brain. You say, Dylan, this is one of your rambles, which means you've got other things to speak about. And yes, I do. Now, for the old thing today, temper your expectations. I had to pull this out of my pocket. I had to phone it in. I still think it's interesting, but I didn't put as much thought into today's old thing just because I can't put enough thought into anything I want to think about with this fog that's going on. But it's still interesting to me. It's a light bulb. Surprise, I love light bulbs and things related to that. This is, by my estimation, mid-30s, early 40s. It is a General Electric light bulb. However, this was back when General Electric called their lamp division Mazda lamps. So this says GE Mazda lamps. And you've got the General Electric, whatever, and they've got their slogan, stay brighter longer. The best part about this is look at this side. This is a picture, a painting, a caricature, a depiction of Thomas Edison. And it says 1879, Thomas A. Edison, inventor of the first practical incandescent lamp. I don't know if you see the other side of this packaging. It says lighting recipes. What? That's fitting. What? Interesting. Lighting recipes for general home lighting. Your dealer or lighting company can give you specific recommendations on lamp sizes for home use. Yeah, try that today. Call up your power company, call up old Westinghouse and ask them for advice. And you're going to have to fight through chat bots and AIs. You'll never speak to a human. So wasn't that interesting back in the day? You could just call them up and say, hey, can you give me a bit of help? and they'll probably talk to you, ask you how your day was. I do lament the passing of those times. I do mourn the passing of those times. But yeah, enough of this, Dylan. What is it? Well, look, it's a red light bulb, which I just found interesting for two reasons. One, the shape. It's got a bit pear-shaped, isn't it? It's interesting to me. Two, it is red, yet the red chosen is incredibly dark. It probably looks, if I put this behind it, probably looks black. But it is a red halogen bulb. No, this is actually so early that it's just going to be an incandescent bulb. It says Mazda on the top, and it is Mazda 10 watts at 115 volts. And it's a very pretty, glowing red lamp. I don't know what it would be used for. It's so dim that it could be used for industrial applications. The signal that something is on, something is off. Anything for a binary proposition. Because it's 10 watts. I don't know. I don't see this as being a purely decorative lamp. Maybe just doesn't quite make sense to me, that the wattage, the form factor, and how dim it is. But it's cool. Little pear-shaped little red light from 90 odd years ago. For our old cookbook today, it is this one here. I was given this when I was invited to the Campbell County Public Library up there in Gillette, Wyoming. Had a wonderful time up there, met some fantastic people, and said fantastic people. One of them bequeathed unto me this. It is the St. Matthew's Catholic Cookbook from Gillette, Wyoming, from 1981. And for the recipe here, I'm just going to show you a throwback. It's summer, it's barbecue times, and you got folks bringing sides, or perhaps you're the one making the sides and the salads. And this is a salad of salads, man, from 1981. It is called an orange sherbet salad. I love sherbet. I used to eat it by the pint. I liked how when it was super fresh, you could scrape a metal spoon. I like the sound the metal spoon along the top made. In Bermuda, where I was born and raised, there was the Simmons Sherbet Company, and I had some great sherbet. Anyway, this is the orange sherbet salad. Now let's take a gander at this. 6 ounces of orange jello, made with a cup of hot water, done. A pint of orange sherbet. 1 cup of cream or a package of Dream Whip or a pint of Cool Whip. And then 11 ounces of mandarin oranges. That's it, baby. Do your teeth hurt? Mine do. Now, my tongue is in my cheek. This has a chance of tasting good, and I've not tasted it, so I can't bash it too much. I mean, what an idea. Pat Ford here likes orange dreamsicles and all things related. If someone brought this to the function today, I'd think they were the coolest person on earth. We need more of my 3 W's. We need more wild, wacky, and wonderful. But folks, that's it for me. Don't worry about me. I just had to come on and tell you that I'm still with you. I'm still in the land of the living, and I'll be right as rain in a few nights. I just need some more sleep. I had to tell you, thank you so much for your patience. Hope you're all doing well, enjoying your summer, and I'll catch you on the flip side.